Hello? You may have noticed that I'm sort of a gamer type, right? And you probably thought to yourself, where did this guy get into this stuff? Or you didn't think about that throughout my entire absence, but I sure did. And as it turns out, this tale goes back many years, and it all leads to this CD right here. Back in the day of the sickly beige big ass screen desktops, my dad one day produces this very CD and wants to show it to us. Now I don't know where he got it from, or rather who gave it to him got it from. It doesn't sound like they made it, but more on that later. But here it was. He was letting us play these games on his computer. Or rather, letting us watch him play these games on his computer because I was 4 years old. One of the earliest gaming memories I have is him beating the Duke Nukem 2 shareware on the hardest difficulty, and yes, I will explain what was that word I just said. Eventually I got to play them, then I moved on to the internet at some point and Newgrounds and all the flash game goodness out there, but this CD, fuck, I'm missing the cue, but this CD stuck around and I played it for as long as I had access to it and the Windows 98 PC to run it. It has been several years since that PC worked or existed, so therefore it has been several years since I played anything on this CD. Until recently that I was thinking, damn, I wonder if that CD still exists, and it does. I already showed it to you like 3 times now. My main goal with this video is to showcase all the shit that's in it, which is a lot, so it'll probably be worth a lot of videos. And while I'd like to go through every single one, there isn't really a lot to say about every single one because some of them are bad, some of them don't work, and some of them are just too known to just be talking about it, I think. But hey, maybe someone will recognize something in here. I don't know. So let's do it. Before we begin looking at these games, there's just a few things I wanted to say about the CD, and now I'm running this, and I know you just want to see the games. Please, can you shut the fuck up? You're pissing me off! So like I said, there's not a whole lot of info on the CD about its origins. I can only glean information about its intentions from a help doc that's inside of it, which made my PC go crazy style trying to open it. The objective of this CD-ROM is to let you know about a large variety of software developed by programmers spread across the world. You will find that many of the programs can be useful at work or at home, besides enjoying many hours of leisure with the games which are also included. Which immediately lets me know this is not a complete record of the repository where this is from, because I guarantee you these are all games and I wouldn't say they're all useful, right? All of the programs included in your CD-ROM run in Windows 95, which is good to know, but unfortunately it's been 30 years since 95. To make this still happen, I'll be using DOSBox as an emulator, but I've given it a few rounds and I know it can't fix everything. If I'm compelled to do it, I will try to look at the Internet Archive for a different version that's hopefully like working. And lastly, from this doc, you can thus use, test, and check out a large variety of shareware, freeware, and public domain programs without needing to perform any kind of installation. Going back to this term, shareware and freeware just mean share or free software. And by share, it literally means it was meant to be shared around like a gaming blunt rotation. What we know as demos was a similar concept, except shareware could be the entire package. But it wasn't free, so you owe them money. How? Well, in these games there would always be, or usually there would be, a section called order or order info, in which you would find the address, usually of the developer himself, where you'd have to send around $30 usually through mail to that developer to then receive also through mail the game on a disc. Now I don't know if this was a viable tactic, but I do know that some developers did it for the love of the game, which is a crazy concept, I know. And hey, if they hadn't chosen that route, they wouldn't be getting publicity, you know, right now. So, I don't know. This also meant they had freedom to do whatever they wanted, for better or worse. And you couldn't just like stir up credit card companies to try to get them to stop supporting the game or whatever. You had to actually go to, with the address kindly provided by the author, go to their house and straight up kill them. Alright, that's enough about stuff, let's just play the fucking games. I'm gonna be playing them in alphabetical order until the video is too long, and then they'll just have to wait for the next video, so make sure to hit that motherfucking subscribe and like button and the fucking bell. But let's just be real, you're not hitting that bell because that shit gets annoying fast, but hey man, just do it! So our first game is 1993 Holiday Lemmings, and I already don't have a whole lot to say about it. I mean, in my head, I think everybody knows what Lemmings is, right? Right? I mean, you got it on your phone. I'm sure it's not made worse by Michael Transactions. Hi, I'm Michael. Welcome. If you don't know, basically got a bunch of brainless guys walking forward and you try to guide them to their goal, instructing a few of their guys to do certain tasks. And it was basically one of the best-selling puzzle games in the 90s. And you have definitely heard of DMA Design. I mean, look them up, it will blow your mind. Full disclosure though, you're not watching my own gameplay. My game shat the bed. At first I thought, damn, is my color blindness going bad? But no, it was actually the beginning of the end, as they say. I went to look up like why lemmings, and turns out not only is lemming a real animal, but this all came from a myth that they will mindlessly follow each other to their deaths while migrating, but that was actually made up by a 1958 Disney wildlife documentary called White Wilderness, where they grabbed a bunch of the animals and pushed them off a cliff, and then said, damn, I can't believe they did that. Anyway, Aldo's Assault. The thing with Aldo's Assault is a clear characteristic that may have immediately jumped to mind. Yes, we are looking at this stout, big-nosed, mustache-bearing, overall-wearing individual, but unlike what you may be thinking, Aldo sets itself apart by being complete dog shit. The dog shitness can be broken down into two issues. Number one, and pretty major in my opinion, the platforms in this platforming game only platform if they damn feel like it. And number two, for whatever reason, when jumping off a certain distance, instead of like continuing the jump arc to its completion, it will instead switch to free fall mode, which is awesome, and made more awesome when it happens because a platform decided to be as present as my dad, and you got to watch the guy slowly descend into the start of the level, making it clear the assault that happened here was the complete wasting of my time. It was also $15. Moving on, Ant Attack. I think I've had a bit of a switch up on how I feel about it. You can enjoy me beating the entire thing in the background there. Basically, you got a bunch of ants and shit slowly spreading and trying to get these picnics, but you gotta stop them. Can we turn this music off actually? Thank you. To do that, they give you 3 tools: a ant spray, a water bucket, and a whole ass bulldozer. I saw a review on some random blog where the guy claimed that the water bucket was made redundant because ants can't go on water, but ants also can't go on dead ends. But actually, the bucket is really good for blocking access to the picnics by putting water in all 4 directions, because ants can't grow diagonally, meaning if you reach the picnic first, you can block it off and not have to worry about it anymore and move on to the next one. You're seeing me beat the whole game on easy, and this threat works in higher difficulties as well. However, the game doesn't end the level even if you've blocked off all the picnics, so you basically can't lose, but yet you have to painstakingly go after all these fucking ants, and the controls are not slick enough for the speed of play this game expects, so don't play on this on anything but easy. Fuck, I just got autistic over Ant Attack, god damn it! Look at this fucking thing. What is this thing? This game is run-of-the-mill platformer and nothing to write home about, but what is interesting is looking at Arrow 1 that I had never seen before, and I just want to know what the fuck happened. Arrow 2 brings exciting new features over its predecessor. Ugly as fuck. Movement speed slow down to an absolute crawl, and no, this isn't because of the emulator. Music and sound effects replaced by the sound of silence by Disturbed. It's still better than Aldo's Assault. Maybe. Next, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, back then you had to explicitly state what graphic capabilities your PC was able to handle, and a lot of it was related to its ability to display color. Here I completely messed that up. Anyway, this game, it's definitely a thing. I'll be honest, to this day I still feel like I haven't quite figured out what's going on. I believe you're trying to shoot balls at this bigger ball so it goes to the goal, but it keeps going backwards due to gravity. I think it's designed as a two-person game, but I've only ever played it by myself, and not for long. It's a weird one, honestly. Here's a review I found while looking stuff up. This was my second game I ever bought. What a waste of money. Balloon challenge. I think my dad quite liked this one. So I showed it to him and I asked, "Do you remember this?" And he said, "What am I looking at?" I'm not sure how to classify this game. I mean, it's a turn-based strategy game, but there's also luck involved. The point is to launch this row of balloons up, and they gotta go as far as possible and beat the computer's score. And I'm like complete ass at it, and I always have been. If there's something I liked about this game, is the really crunchy sounds that the computer makes when it's choosing a balloon. Good news, we're running out of time, so these will be the last 3 games I'll be talking about. Given the nature of them, however, it would be complete overkill to talk about them in their own separate section. Okay, for the love of God, you know what this is, right? Like, I don't need to explain what you're looking at, right? This is the equivalent if I was making a video about art and I just showed you the Mona Lisa. Like, come on! This is Breakout. And this is Arkanoid. Nice to meet you. Hello, now you're acquainted. They're very similar, but the key difference is that Arkanoid is the one that brought in power-ups, and while in Breakout, you just raw dog through the whole thing. All of the following games are clones in some capacity. And they're definitely not the only ones I have, but they're the only ones that made it onto the list this time. Starting off with Bananoid, if it isn't obvious from the funny haha name, took after Arkanoid, but innovated by making it substantially worse. For some reason, they decided that the screen should be twice as big, while also not. Controlling with the mouse, in my opinion, makes it way harder to go where you want, and if the ball hits the corner of your paddle thing, it surely is a game over. I think there's some significance about it being VGA only in the year it came out, but like, does that mean anything to you? Ball and Paddle, or BAP, thank you James, went for the more quaint Breakout approach. And yeah man, that sure is Breakout. Did you know that Bananoid came out 40 years earlier? And lastly, we have Bat and Ball. James wasn't involved in this one, so they couldn't name it BAB. This one is technically still Breakout, but with an actual twist. It's actually a multiplayer game where the point is to bounce off the drug-crazed bouncing ball from your own blocks into the other players'. You have an initial layer which is okay, but if anything touches the court, you're out. Every time someone's out, a new ball appears, so in a way it's kind of a battle royale, like Fortnite, but not. There's not really much for progression, there's some different screens, but the game is mostly the same every time, so it kind of gets old after a bit. And speaking of getting old, the video is now over. I intend to continue this on another video that hopefully won't be as front-loaded, and thus I probably go through more games. Thank you to all my friends who kept this video alt-tabbed somewhere just so I could get the watch time from them. That was very kind, and this is your signal that the video's not ending, so now you can stop doing that. I enjoyed making a video again, and even though there was a lot that I was already rusty about, but you know, what can you do? See ya!